Limitations of liability. Exclusive remedies and entire agreement provisions serve as critical components in an EPC, engineering, procurement, and construction contract, delineating the scope of potential remedies and affirming the completeness of the contract's terms. Exclusive remedies provision. This provision narrows the remedies available to the parties to only those listed within the contract. The intention is to provide certainty and predictability in the event of a breach or other issues. For example, if the contract states that the remedy for late delivery is a liquidated damages payment, then the party suffering the delay cannot seek additional damages, such as those for lost profits or other indirect losses, unless such rights are expressly provided for in the contract. Entire agreement provision. This clause affirms that the written contract represents the full and final agreement between the parties and that all prior negotiations, promises, or representations that are not included in the written contract have no effect. This provision prevents parties from claiming that there were additional terms agreed upon outside of what is documented. Limitation of liability clause. This is a separate clause that defines the extent to which each party accepts liability to the other. Here's how it is typically structured. Aggregate liability cap. The clause would set a maximum limit to the amount one party can be held liable for, often equated to the contract price. This means that the contractor's maximum liability for all claims related to the contract is capped, providing a clear limit to their financial exposure. Exclusion of certain reliances. The clause would state that the owner does not rely on any representations or warranties outside of those expressly included in the contract. This limits the possibility of the owner claiming that they were influenced by any statements or warranties not formally included in the contract document. Exclusion of consequential losses. The clause explicitly excludes liability for indirect damages such as lost profits, production, contracts, or use, as well as special, incidental, or consequential damages. This is meant to shield the contractor from unpredictable and potentially extensive liabilities that could arise from a range of consequential losses. Application across legal theories. The limitations apply irrespective of the legal basis of the claim, whether it be indemnity, breach of contract, statutory duty, or tort, including negligence and strict liability. Incorporation of key provisions. The contract should explicitly incorporate the exclusive remedies and entire agreement provisions, ensuring that they are integral parts of the contractual terms and are acknowledged by both parties. Exceptions. Despite the aforementioned limitations, the contract should also outline exceptions for when these limitations do not apply. Typically, these exceptions include fraudulent representations, willful misconduct, or gross negligence. These are serious breaches of the contract or legal duties that are considered to be so egregious that the ordinary limitations on liability do not apply. In practice, these provisions work together to create a contract that defines the bounds of liability and remedies, protects the parties from unexpected additional claims, assures that the written contract is the full expression of their agreement, provides exceptions for particularly severe misconduct. The inclusion of these terms in an EPC contract should be carefully considered and tailored to the specifics of the project and the risks that the parties are willing to accept and manage. It is common practice to negotiate these terms to balance risk and liability in a way that is equitable and acceptable to both parties.